The following program is a special presentation of the Big Ten Network, produced in association with Northwestern University.
My thoughts in the direction I would like the Jazz Studies program here at Northwestern University and the Bienen School of Music to go in is that I would like it to be one that celebrates the history of jazz music as well as preparing our young students to really be the future of jazz music and to be part of the scene today as well as doing some amazing things to carry the music forward.
Out of high school, I went to a really strong jazz high school and had a great program there. And we did a program called the Essentially Ellington Festival during high school where you study the music of Duke Ellington and you get to go to Lincoln Center Jazz and play with and work with the band. And that's where I first saw Mr. Goines play, and I really had a good time and a good experience with that. So when I found that he was coming to teach here, and most of the faculty's part is affiliated with Lincoln Center, I figured this would be a good place.
And it's really just a matter of time of making sure that they become a very intricate part of the fabric of jazz by having the opportunity to meet many of those great musicians like SF Jazz and their saxophonist Joe Lovano, who was on campus, or Wynton Marsalis when we were at Symphony Center, and just Wycliffe Gordon, who's a great trombone player who used to play with the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra, Eric Reed, who was a visiting artist, who's a phenomenal pianist. I mean, and the list goes on and on. It's just what we hope to interact or at least to expose our students to down the line so they can have just one up, I like to believe, on the rest of the world in terms of interacting with jazz in the present tense and ultimately in the future.
In terms of other jazz student bodies that I've been able to be a part of and also work with. The academic sort of rigors of this particular program here at Northwestern with regards to the Jazz Studies program is very high. I mean, just to be accepted to Northwestern as a university is a feat in and of itself. And in order to be considered to be a jazz major, to be any other kind of arts major or any other major within this, the university itself, you have to first be accepted academically into the school. So right off the bat, I have the utmost respect for their academic diligence in that sense. Secondarily, when you're trying to have a program of the high caliber that we're aspiring to, that student has to be really well-rounded, where they've had a lot of time to devote to their academic studies, in addition to all the time and learning that it takes to be an effective communicator in jazz. You play your instrument, to study compositions, to study the history of the music. That's a lot to ask of certain students, and I think the student body here at Northwestern is sort of reflective of that. You get students that are well-rounded in an academic sense. They also have a tremendous talent level in terms of their musicality.
This special presentation of the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Northwestern University, committed to excellent teaching, innovative research, and the personal and intellectual growth of its students in a diverse community.
Northwestern University. Exceptional academic opportunities. 2 beautiful lakefront campuses. A collaborative community. Lifelong friendships. Northwestern University. Northwestern University. More than 150 years of academic excellence and a tradition of student success.
First and 10, Northwestern.
Can you beat your man to the corner?
Yeah, if the ball's thrown at angle theta of 33 degrees and I accelerate at 3.2 meters per second.
The Cats' game plan reminds me of the Turkish siege of Constantinople in 1453.
I know what you mean.
Our transformation of potential energy into kinetic energy has really enabled us to control the line of scrimmage.
Duh.
Our team's elevated efforts seem to have resulted from the phenomenon of increasing returns to scale.
Yeah, they've really sacrificed all egos and let their ids take over.
These days, our undergraduate and graduate academics aren't our only nationally ranked programs.
You, Nimble Lightning, dart your blazing speed through their scornful secondary. King Lear Blue, deep left on pi r squared. Ready?
Carpe diem!
Northwestern University. Good thinking.
I've been a member of the Jazz at Lincoln Center Orchestra for 15 years, and it's been a tremendous opportunity for me to really study the history of jazz music in real time, so to speak, because we perform the music of Duke Ellington and Cy Oliver and Benny Goodman and all the great legends of jazz, but at the same time, while we're performing it, we're not trying to recreate it. We're creating music based upon what they put before us. So again, those are all the great opportunities and experiences that I've had that I hope to be able to bring to my students here at Northwestern University.
A big reason I knew I would like working with Mr. Goines, my current saxophone teacher, is my high school band. My freshman year and my senior year actually went to this really nice festival called essentially Ellington, held in New York City with the Lincoln Center Jazz Orchestra. And my freshman year, Mr. Goines worked with my high school group. And I was a freshman and I had a big clarinet solo, and it was really really, you know, scary. I was going to be playing in front of all these amazing people and stuff. And when he worked with me on the clarinet solo, it just really helped me improve. And the way he played was just amazing, and it stuck in my mind.
As a musician, I've been really, really fortunate and blessed because I've performed with some of the greatest names, not only in the history of jazz, but in the history of show business. Everybody from Tony Bennett to Ruth Brown in the rhythm and blues, from rock and roll people like Bo Diddley to Natalie Cole to Liza Minnelli, and of course to Wynton Marsalis, whose family I've been really, really close to for many years. We grew up together as kids, and one of the major ensembles I performed in before joining Wynton's septet in 1993 was to play with his father for 10 years prior to that. So that's been really, really great. And with the Wynton Marsalis septet, I've had the opportunity to really travel around the world, to Australia, to Japan, Europe, the Caribbean, almost if you name it, we've been there. And it's allowed me to have a view of all that's taking place in the world, really.
I usually have lessons with Mr. Goines probably about once every couple weeks, 2 weeks or so. And I mean, I think that's one of the best things that I get from being here at Northwestern, honestly, because Mr. Goines just has such an extensive background in this music. You know, he knows basically everything about, you know, playing jazz. He knows about the business. He's an invaluable resource.
I don't know if my philosophy is very different from other people in terms of what they do inside their lessons. But I try to work with my students in a very individual way because everyone has their own specific challenges that they're dealing with. For one person, it may be oral skills. Another, it may be the ability to really say what they want to say on his or her horn. But everyone has an independent type of challenge that they're dealing with along the way as well as strengths, obviously. So I try to really identify what the weaknesses or challenges of those students are and try to strengthen the foundation of their musicianship to allow them to really articulate themselves as best they can in jazz music.
Northwestern University. Exceptional academic opportunities. 2 beautiful lakefront campuses. Outstanding faculty. Lifelong friendships. Northwestern University and Chicago, a symphony of success.
For 50 years, 12 world-class research universities have worked together for the common good. Together, we offer more than 1,000 study abroad programs, over 75 million library volumes, and more than $6 billion in sponsored research. Together, we are at the heart of American higher education. Together, we are the Committee on Institutional Cooperation, the CIC. Better together.
Montague Rizigi is developing technology that will carry millions of bits of information faster. She's also developing a wonderful rapport with her 6 students. Mary Zimmerman has earned national attention as a dynamic theater director. Her 15 students also give her rave reviews. Robert Lamb is an internationally recognized expert on the flu virus. His 30 biology students find his enthusiasm quite contagious. Northwestern University, where big ideas come in small classes.
Northwestern University.
pride is in the purple.
Started playing the saxophone when I was in grade school, and I really got into jazz starting in about 7th grade, actually listening to the music of Charlie Parker. And so, you know, that was a big influence on me, you know, surprise saxophone player, right?
Well, Gabe Wildner is really interesting because we have a similar background. Both of us have an interest in the tenor saxophone. We both love jazz music, and as it turns out, he's a mathematics major, actually with a jazz minor. So he's a very interesting kid to me because I can see him doing many of the things that I ultimately achieved in my career to put me where I'm at today.
I mean, yeah, I knew I was probably going to major in math. I knew I definitely wanted to do something with jazz. I mean, when I got here, I wasn't like gung-ho, this is exactly the, you know, program of study that I'm going to pursue. You know, I took like math classes to find out, you know, if this is what I really want to do for a major. And, you know, I decided I liked the program and, you know, I like math, so I did it. I pretty much always knew that if there was anything available in that area that I would try and do something with jazz. And I'm really glad that Northwestern has a program that allowed me to actually minor in that and I think learn a lot.
From a musical point of view, I had really important teachers in my life. In elementary school, in middle school, there was a gentleman named Donald Richardson who was really very important to me. He strengthened the fundamentals of my musicianship to a level that allowed me to compete on another higher level, you might say. And then a very important person to me in high school was my clarinet teacher, Carl Bluen. And he was more than just my clarinet teacher. He was my saxophone teacher as well, but he was my mathematics teacher. And he exposed me in such a way that made mathematics and music important to me.
You know, the one thing that I like about lessons with Mr. Goines is that his focus seems to be that he wants to know how you sound so he can bring what he has to the table and make you sound better. And I think that's a great focus to have.
Okay, that E does work up in there. What about an E flat up in there?
Yeah, I'm playing with green sharp too.
Yeah. The experiences of all of my professors have really been amazing along the way. It's the reason why I do what I do today, why I'm in education.
I just think that having the history that this music has and the emphasis that it places on improvisation, both individual and collective efforts, and how important and central both of those are to the success of playing the music. And I think the opportunity to just interact with people on a musical level is a really appealing thing.
Northwestern University. Exceptional academic opportunities. 2 beautiful lakefront campuses. Outstanding faculty. Lifelong friendships. Northwestern University and Chicago, a symphony of success.
If the runner hits hole X at 3.7 meters per second, I should have a 23-degree angle of interception.
As Benjamin Disraeli once said, the secret of success in life is to be ready for opportunity when it comes.
I got you now, you Australopithecus robustus.
I think, therefore I can.
Northwestern University. Good thinking.
Northwestern University, a tradition of excellence. Of academic inquiry, of success, and of lifelong friendships. Northwestern University.
Our winter concert here was really about the opportunities for our students to learn a little bit more about our professors by performing their music. It was appropriately titled Pens of Our Professors, and all of the pieces were arranged or composed and arranged by myself or colleagues on the jazz faculty. And I think whenever you have an opportunity to play someone's music and have a close, intimate type of relationship and converse back and forth with them, it really allows you to learn something really, really special about the person. So being the first year of the Jazz Studies program, and we're coming here to try to familiarize ourselves with our existing students as well as our newer students, it was just the right concert to do at the right time.
Playing big band charts directed by the person who actually wrote the chart is always an interesting thing, because usually when you have a chart in front of you, the person who's directing the band didn't write the chart. You're like engaging in this like collective process of trying to figure out like what the writer of the chart actually wanted, and even regardless of that, like what we actually want to play on it. And it's a totally different thing, you know, when a person will actually write the chart and then be the person who's directing you when you're playing it, because obviously he knows, he knows how it's supposed to sound.
Well, first of all, from my perspective, having the opportunity to have your music performed in any setting is always a thrill. I think any composer would say the same thing. A lot of times in the professional world, you'll have a performance that, if you're having your music performed, it's not given the same amount of rehearsal time, the same dedication of time to really perfecting your piece and getting it exactly the way you hear it and the way you intended it. Having the Pens of the Professors concert here at Northwestern really afforded us the opportunity to work with the students as composers to fine-tune our compositions, our arrangements, to get them to sound really how we envisioned them to, because we had weeks of rehearsal. And that's the luxury that I think we all appreciated. From the student perspective, working with the composer of a piece is another luxury that you're not often afforded, because so much of the music that young jazz musicians are playing was published by a central agency that, well, it was either published by a central agency who's the composer you're not familiar with or you'll never actually get to meet, or it's a work of a great master who might not be around anymore.
On this concert, we performed the music of Carlos Enriquez, our bass player, who also plays with the Jazz and Lincoln Orchestra. This is his first year teaching at Northwestern University. My colleague Christopher Madsen, who works with the jazz band and teaches composition and arranging, he's very important in that regard, because ultimately we hope to perform the arrangements and the compositions of our students. And he's new this year. And then last but certainly not least, we performed a piece by John Mulder, who's a guitar professor here at Northwestern in the Jazz Studies program. And he's actually been here before, many years before. So he's from this particular Chicagoland area. So it was an opportunity to have some of the existing people here, as well as some of the new people who are on the faculty, be a part of this. And of course, I'm new to the program, and I contributed my works to it.
Think about it. That's a complex task. I mean, to really think about it. Northwestern University provides a collaborative community that helps individuals think about it. We develop critical thinkers, thinkers who are leading us to the future. Northwestern University. Think about it.
Northwestern University. More than 150 years of academic excellence and a tradition of student success.
If the runner hits hole X at 3.7 meters per second, I should have a 23-degree angle of interception.
As Benjamin Disraeli once said, the secret of success in life is to be ready for opportunity when it comes.
I got you now, you Australopithecus robustus.
I think, therefore I can.
Northwestern University. Good thinking.
Monaje Rizigi is developing technology that will carry millions of bits of information faster. She's also developing a wonderful rapport with her 6 students. Mary Zimmerman has earned national attention as a dynamic theater director. Her 15 students also give her rave reviews. Robert Lamb is an internationally recognized expert on the flu virus. His 30 biology students find his enthusiasm quite contagious. Northwestern University, where big ideas come in small classes.
Pretty much when I was about 14 years old, I knew exactly what I wanted to do as an adult. I knew that I wanted to make a career out of music, specifically playing the saxophone in jazz. And so that, again, that was fortunate for me to have that kind of revelation at a young age. From then on, through high school, I just pursued it even more. I ended up going to DePaul University, getting my bachelor's there in jazz studies. I studied with Mark Colby, one of the great Chicago saxophonists, and after that, I auditioned for the what was then the budding Institute of Jazz Studies at the Juilliard School in New York. It's a dream of a lot of jazz musicians to go to New York at some point. Whether or not it's permanent is everyone's a different situation for everyone. But I auditioned at Juilliard and I got accepted, and from then on I began studying with Victor Goines. And I was there for 3 years. I was in New York for 3 years. I worked with Mr. Goines for a year after I finished my master's degree there. Moved back to Chicagoland in 2006, and about a year and a half later, my phone rang and it happened to be Victor Goines, and he informed me of the exciting news that he had accepted a position as Director of Jazz Studies here, and he asked me if I was interested in participating, and the answer was resounding yes, of course.
Mr. Madsen, I work with him pretty much every weekday. He teaches all the big band, combo, improv class. So I see him a lot, and he's a really good teacher.
Personally, I'm not involved with teaching private lessons at all. I interact with the students on a classroom basis for the most part. I teach jazz improv and jazz composition and arranging. Those are both sort of, technically I guess called lectures, but it's not anything like a lecture hall. It's a small class, and having the intimacy of somewhere between 5 and 10 students per class in a setting like that is really ideal, because in a situation like an interactive class like jazz composition, jazz improvisation, it has to be one-on-one to a certain extent while still maintaining a group atmosphere. So I'm in charge of teaching both of those classes. I also am director of one of the jazz combos. Right now we have 2 jazz combos. I'm the director of one of those groups. I'm the assistant director of the other combo, and I'm also assistant director of the jazz orchestra. Spring and Fall is a composition that was originally written for a high-level high school jazz ensemble, and spring and fall are my 2 favorite seasons. I'm just a sucker for the transitional seasons. I don't know what it is. It's the changing and the change of nature around me. It just does something to me every time, every year. It's always exciting. And as with most of my compositions, when I sit down to write, I'm not thinking, what is this going to be titled? I'm thinking, what sounds good? Or what is this musical idea? How can I develop this? How can I, extrapolate on this and make a composition out of it. So by the time I had finished Spring and Fall, the entire piece, having heard it played back at me from the computer, having heard it in my head for months and months, I realized that it has kind of an organic feeling. It's sort of a bittersweet, it has kind of a bittersweet feeling as well, and that's pretty indicative of those seasons. I'd always wanted to write something called Spring and Fall. I was just waiting for the right piece to come out, and I think this was it, and so that's why I called it that.
Can you beat your man to the corner? Yeah, if the ball's thrown at angle theta of 33 degrees and I accelerate at 3.2 meters per second.
The Cats' game plan reminds me of the Turkish siege of Constantinople in 1453.
I know what you mean.
Our transformation of potential energy into kinetic energy has really enabled us to control the line of scrimmage.
Duh. Our team's elevated efforts seem to have resulted from the phenomenon of increasing returns to scale. Yeah, they've really sacrificed all egos and let their ids take over.
These days, our undergraduate and graduate academics aren't our only nationally ranked programs.
You, nimble lightning, dart your blazing speed through their scornful secondary. King Lear blue, deep left on pi r squared. Ready? Carpe diem!
Northwestern University. Good thinking.
Northwestern University. A tradition of excellence. Unlimited opportunities. Lifelong friendships. And exceptional academics.
Throughout the history of jazz music, there has always been that competition that takes place. Those cutting sessions, we call them inside of the jam sessions at jazz clubs, and the friendly competition. But for me, while that's really important because it really motivates students to do what he or she want to ultimately achieve, I think it's important that we also have an environment that's really supportive so that peers are supporting each other in terms of their endeavors and where they want to be at. Because while you're spending time with your professors here, it's truly one of those situations where the people you go to school with or attend college during your years of study are the people that you tend to perform with for the rest of your lives. And I know that to be a fact because I play with people that I have been knowing for many, many years today.
In big band, we're all friends. We hang out. We, do music-related and non-music-related stuff together, and yeah, I think that really helps our cohesion and our chemistry as a group.
I think that Mr. Goines feels that the best kind of jazz education happens with a small student-to-professor ratio. And The challenge is to have a small enough jazz program in terms of students, somewhere around 30 students, where you do get that communal feel. It feels like a community. You feel like you're part of a family or part of sort of a camaraderie, all studying the same music, all seeking the same end result, obviously to be great jazz musicians and study the great art form. So, you know, long story short, I think if the students say that they feel like they're part of a jazz family, I think that means that that's a mark of success for the Northwestern program, because that's what we hope that they feel.
Yeah, we're all friends, you know, everybody knows everybody. A lot of times we'll go and hang out and play. Some of us have been doing, playing in a band or two, you know, outside of school. So, yeah, it's, you know, just playing music and just hanging out, not even talking about music necessarily. Yeah, there's a lot of camaraderie.
Like jazz is such a social music that when you play with the same people a lot, you like can make them, as I was talking about earlier, you can like help make them sound better by playing with them, knowing what they're gonna do at certain times or over certain charts, which is good. And it's also fun to see like people improve and, you know, get to work off each other and bounce ideas off each other.
I took a solo on Bernie's tune, and yeah, it was a lot of fun. I feel like I did play one of my best solos I had played on that song at the concert. A lot of times playing in front of a crowd will kind of elevate my playing somehow. I guess want to show off or something. It's always fun to play in front of people because, you know, you get their energy if they're into it, and it kind of comes into your playing. So I think that happened on that solo because I was actually pleased with it, and sometimes I'm a little hard on myself, but I like the way it came out.
That's what like the music's about. When you kind of take the charts that are sitting in front of you and you put them aside and you just play what you hear. Because by this point you already know all the songs, you've been rehearsing them for a while. And so it's a lot of fun when you can just tell and when new things happen, because that's all what jazz is, kind of spontaneous.
Northwestern University. Exceptional academic opportunities. 2 beautiful lakefront campuses. A collaborative community. Lifelong friendships. Northwestern University.
You beat your man to the corner? Yeah, if the ball's thrown at angle theta of 33 degrees and I accelerate at 3.2 meters per second.
The cat's game plan reminds me of the Turkish siege of Constantinople in 1453.
I know what you mean.
Our transformation of potential energy into kinetic energy has really enabled us to control the line of scrimmage.
Duh. Our team's elevated efforts seem to have resulted from the phenomenon of increasing returns to scale. Yeah, they've really sacrificed all egos and let their ids take over.
These days, our undergraduate and graduate academics aren't our only nationally ranked programs.
You, nimble lightning, dart your blazing speed through their scornful secondary. King Lear blue, deep left on pi r squared. Ready? Carpe diem!
Northwestern University. Good thinking.
Northwestern University. The pride is in the purple.
feel like my interaction with, especially Mr. Goines, you know, he's such a top-level musician in every way. Really, I try and listen to everything he says really carefully because, I mean, he's made it so well in what he does. There's not many people who succeed in every area like he can. And it's not even just music. I mean, he knows the business of it and, you know, how to talk to people, even how to take interviews, for instance. Yeah, he's just, you know, I try and listen to, you know, everything he says because it's, he's really succeeded, and I hope to, you know, someday reach that level.
So taking all the different faculty members and everything they're good at and really absorbing it all and taking it and allowing it to come out in my playing, something that I'm really hoping to get over these next 2.5 years.
This is a really special time for us in the School of Music because while we have jazz studies reviving itself here at Northwestern, and we're going to have a new facility in years to come, we actually have a new name right now, which is the Henry and Lee Bienen School of Music. And Henry Bienen is the president of Northwestern University, and this is his final year, so it comes at a time where we're really excited, and we're glad that we're going to be able to carry on the level of excellence that he has actually provided for the university in years to come. While I'm new to the School of Music, I feel like I've known him for a very long time because he and his wife has really made me feel like I'm welcome in ways that only family can do. So it's a great opportunity for us in the School of Music to bear his name.
Northwestern University, a tradition of excellence, of academic inquiry, of success, and of lifelong friendships. Northwestern University.
Think about it. That's a complex task. I mean, to really think about it. Northwestern University provides a collaborative community that helps individuals think about it. We develop critical thinkers, thinkers who are leading us to the future. Northwestern University. Think about it.
For 50 years, 12 world-class research universities have worked together for the common good. Together, we offer more than 1,000 study abroad programs, over 75 million library volumes, and more than $6 billion in sponsored research. Together, we are at the heart of American higher education. Together, we are the Committee on Institutional Cooperation, the CIC. Better together.
Northwestern University. More than 150 years of academic excellence and a tradition of student success.
This special presentation of the Big Ten Network is brought to you by Northwestern University, committed to excellent teaching, innovative research, and the personal and intellectual growth of its students in a diverse community.
In the future, I would really love to be a jazz performer. and you know, not even necessarily a jazz performer. I perform in other areas too. I really like actually the R&B stuff I've been doing lately. But yeah, jazz especially, I love it, and I hope to keep playing it, performing it throughout the rest of my life. And even if I'm not performing, you know, I'll be teaching, and I'll keep playing out. So yeah, I just want to keep it a huge part of my life.
To try to maintain sort of a small student body while still allowing them to pursue different kinds of performing environments within the institution, big band, combo, being in all these different classes, as well as interacting with disciplines outside of jazz studies. That's a very important part of music school. And I know that's something Mr. Goines is really committed to.
I guess I'm just excited about the direction that this program is heading in. I think that the arrival of Mr. Goines and this year with the new students coming in, I mean, there's been so much vitality restored to the program compared to where we were at, you know, 2 years ago or even 1 year ago. You know, the difference is just phenomenal. You know, I feel like this university really does now have a jazz program that is dedicated to excellence and improvement and bringing in good people who will be fun to play with and in making people into better jazz musicians. And I just couldn't be more excited about the future.
The Northwestern University Jazz Orchestra.
The preceding program was produced by Northwestern University in association with the Big Ten Network.
Monaje Rizigi is developing technology that will carry millions of bits of information faster. She's also developing a wonderful rapport with her 6 students. Mary Zimmerman has earned national attention as a dynamic theater director. Her 15 students also give her rave reviews. Robert Lamb is an internationally recognized expert on the flu virus. His 30 biology students find his enthusiasm quite contagious. Northwestern University, where big ideas come in small classes.
For 50 years, 12 world-class research universities have worked together for the common good. Together, we offer more than 1,000 study abroad programs, over 75 million library volumes, and more than $6 billion in sponsored research. Together, we are at the heart of American higher education. Together, we are the Committee on Institutional Cooperation, the CIC. Better together.
Northwestern University. Exceptional academic opportunities. 2 beautiful lakefront campuses. Outstanding faculty. Lifelong friendships. Northwestern University in Chicago, a symphony of success.